Painkiller Ghosts, Chapter 13, Shooting You is the closest I'll get to sleeping with you. The hospital staff kept her, Chastity, overnight for evaluation. She was allowed to watch TV, go to the cafeteria, or wander the halls, do just about anything except leave. She hadn't eaten much recently. They fed her. She heard the nurses talking about a man getting shot in the arm at the park and that he was here in the hospital. It must be him, she knew. And she figured out which floor he was on. There weren't many, and she could rule out the pediatric ward and the women's pavilion, and she ruled out the ER and the ICU. She didn't shoot anyone in the ruin, not this time. She followed nurses, listened in on their conversations. She peered in through the door to look at him, asleep in his bed, the television on the news, photojournalists kidnapped in Gaza, fighters killed in Lebanon, child kidnappings in Florida. He was asleep in his bed, snoring slightly in a painkiller dream. There had been a woman in his room, Chastity noticed, an older woman, his mother, of course. And she thought to herself, here she was, she had shot this woman's son. But the woman left, and Chastity walked into the room like she was supposed to be there. She went to the bed and she looked down at his meal tray and saw his name on the food order. Here, passed out on pain pills and hospital macaroni and cheese, was Timothy X. Exler. And she is standing there, hovering over him like a guardian angel. He opens his eyes and looks around the room. She can tell by his woozy movements that he is about to close his eyes again, and he blinks a few times and closes his eyes. She was able to see his eyes, his blue eyes. She left the room, wondering what the X in his name stood for. She walked down the hall thinking to herself, I shot baby blue eyes. I shot baby blue eyes. I shot baby blue eyes. Later, Chastity waited until Time's mother had left again, and she snuck back into his room. He was asleep again. His beard looked dirty, and she thought that his hair should be a little longer. Chastity stood over him for a little bit, looked at his bandaged hand. She touched his beard just a bit, snagged a little by accident, and there was no way for her to know what he was dreaming, that he was dreaming of Maria touching his beard just now, just like years ago. It's been years and he's still dreaming of her. Maybe it's because you have no one else to dream of, Suzanne once told her son. I don't really want to dream of anyone else, Mama, but I also don't want to dream of her. Chastity backed away, sat down on the chair that Mama Exler had been sitting on all day, and she wiped her eyes, scratched her nose, and said, shooting you was an accident, staring at the closed eyes of sleeping Time. She goes on, I bet shooting you is the closest I'll get to sleeping with you too. There were tears in her eyes. She spotted the busted camera under the chair that she had been sitting in, and she leaned over and picked it up. She held the camera and said to herself, I'm a virgin, not an angel. She left the room, picking up a blanket and sealing the broken camera hidden within it. Time woke up not too long after Chastity had taken his camera. Suzanne was in the chair, texting on her cell phone. I had a dream, Mama, a dream about Maria. She was touching me, my beard, and it was so real. It felt like I could feel her, smell her, hear her sitting right there, talking to me. Suzanne, stroking his cheek and holding his good hand, said, oh, that was just me. I've been right here, reading, touching you on the face now and again. It wasn't until Time was going home that Suzanne realized that the camera was gone. She asked the nurses if they had seen it, moved it, or noticed it, but no one had. But now we're back to Chastity, a little while ago, before they left the hospital. Shooting you is the closest I'll get to sleeping with you. But this time she was talking to Time. By the way that she said it today and the way she said it years ago, they were different, the way she said it to Time today. I'm a virgin, not an angel. But today she was saying it with sorrow as an apology to a man she didn't know, who couldn't hear her, and who she never meant to shoot. She'd never been shot before, but now she shot her third victim, saying to each of them, shooting you is the closest I'll get to sleeping with you. And now time's been shot for a second time. He's never shot anyone before, though of course he's aimed a gun at people before. His left hand will be out of commission for a while. I'll just have to get a lighter camera, Mama. And a few days before, with the man on the roof, as Chastity hid under her hair near the dormers, before the man on the roof shot himself in the left eye, while his eyes were open and staring at Chastity, right before he pulled the trigger, he spit on the shingles and said, "I guess shooting myself is the closest I'll get to sleeping with you." And then he was no more. I'm an angel, not a virgin. He's an angel now, not a virgin. Bang, bang, dreamless now.